Hello everyone, my name is Cesar Rocha. I am a game development engineer here to show you the GLSL Particle Systems project that I did using my engine created at the Guildhall SMU. So basically this system is a successor, is a project I did after my Geometry Shaders project, and I wanted to do something creative with the Geometry Shader knowledge I've learned about. So one of the things I wanted to do was that I thought it'd be great to kind of make really cool particle effects, either animated or still, uh, within my engine. So since this is limited to a 2-minute video, I'm going to kind of make this a short, kind of run by this real quick, but hopefully I'll get everything across as to how the system works. The first thing is that the system runs very similar to Unreal Engine, whereas that there's the particle system itself, the containers, which is like kind of the parent class of a particle, sort of like fire, and emitters, which are the subclasses of a container, which contain the elements of fire, smoke, or the flame, the smoke, and sparks. And then inside the emitters, we'll have the particles themselves. So how one flame particle will behave versus another flame particle will behave. So the system, so that's pretty much the layer of the particle system and how that works. How to actually make particles, well, you have a folder in the Win32 folder under data particles available where you can put XML documents. So when the system initializes, it will read these files and load them up into a factory. Now the factory is a factory because I didn't want it so that you load up the particles and have them editable and then realize you didn't like what you changed and not be able to go back without having to start over. Instead, these factory items are always there for you to spawn another one. So these are not visible in the game world. In fact, if I listed the active ones, you have nothing. So let's go ahead and make one of them active. So let's spawn the Fire Annie, and it'll pop one right in the center for you. So this icon here shows you that there's a container there with 3 emitters. The Fire Annie, I'll just go Fire Animation. The Fire Animation has a flame emitter, a smoke emitter, and a spark emitter. And right now I'll show you the smoke emitter. Now let's do the spark emitter. So we'll tell it that I want to access the Fire Animation Spark. Not spark. There you are. And that's how that works. So if you really want to understand how the particles kind of look the same right here, basically how it's kind of repeating the same thing. Basically, the system does not ever new or delete any of the particles. When it initializes, it looks at the XML file, sees how many particles you need, creates an array, and it knows you will never need more than X amount of particles. So it just recycles them. It plays one and recycles it. And this is very good for memory management because I didn't want to new delete. It's just you have a set number, run that number, recycle particles. So let's go ahead and run the entire particle altogether. So now we see all 3 emitters running in at once: the flame, the smoke, and the sparks. So that's pretty much how the system loads up your particles. It runs through the XML documents, creates an emitter, creates particles, creates containers, puts it all together, and you have what you see on the screen. So one thing I did not like about the system very early on was that if I wanted to make any changes, like say I wanted the sparks to be white, right? I had to close the system out, go to the XML document, change it, edit it, save it, reopen the system, and do everything I just did now in order to get the result. That's no longer the case anymore. I can now just tell it that I want the color of Fire Animation Spark and give it pure white, RGB. Now all my sparks don't look like sparks anymore. They look like really nice stars. It's actually kind of nice. This is really useful because now I don't have to I mean, it eases things up. I don't have to go back, change it, go through the whole hassle. In fact, if I had more than one particle that I wanted to change at one time, I'll have to remember things, write it down. Much simpler. So I'm going to end a lot of these right here. So I'm going to end fire animations flame. And I'm going to end the smoke. So you can press up to access your original entry. There, so just sparks. Let's give a bigger rate, a longer rate, and this will actually change the color back because it will use original old data. The rate of the spark to do, say, one fire animation. Gotta tell what container you want to access. Fire any spark to, say, 100 particles every 3 seconds. There we are. Let's change the color back. Let's see, fire and spark 255, 255. There we are. Better. All right. So let's go ahead and make a lot of changes. Let's make these sparks kind of fan out, not just start from one place. So let's do position X, fire any spark from 20 to negative 20. And then position, maybe we'll do my forward slash, position Y, fire any spark, also 20 to negative 20, a lot wider. Let's see, what can I do? Let's make these start up higher. Z, fire any, spark. Let's start, they all start at the same height, 20. And let's make them fall downwards. So velocity is also available. Z, velocity Z. Fire any, spark 0 to negative 0.5. It will randomize between 0 and 0.5. So they won't all go at the same speed. So now we have sparks that are kind of falling downwards. Kind of nice. It's almost like snow, right? Well, say you want to change the image. Well, image is also available. Let's fire any spark to, I believe it is lowercase, so snowflake. And I do have to have the extension because sometimes you will have a JPEG versus a PNG. And no additional properties because this is not an animated image. Now you got some snowflakes. Okay, cool. So I can do more with this one. I can change up a whole lot of things. I was going to do a lot more, but I'm running out of time. Say you like your new particle, right? This still contains the original smoke and the original flame, but I don't have ways to delete those at the moment. So, but say you like this right now, and you don't remember what you did. What did I exactly do? I changed the velocity, but what were those numbers? That was another thing I wanted to do, was that I wanted to create an exporter. So, exporter wasn't too much trouble. It's actually one of the last things I did. So I can export my fire animation, and we'll call it snow, all caps. So now the fire animation data is now exported as snow. So that means that when you load up the system again and you go to your factory, under your fire ani will now be snow. And you can spawn it like you would spawn the original one, spawn fire or snow, because we did all caps. It's not there now because it's not been loaded up. It will do it when you initialize the game, which just happens when you reload the system. So that's how that works. Let me think for a moment. Let me check my time. And actually, I'm at 9 minutes. So that's pretty much it. That's as far as I can show you right now. But hopefully you like everything that's there. If you looked at the flame, that shows you the animation. But yeah. Once again, my name is Cesar. Thank you very much for taking a look at my particle system. I'm now at 10 minutes. Thank you very much.